Hey everyone, in today's vlog, I'm going to give you actual tools to identify what your soul looks like to you so that you can connect to your soul easier. That's because it worked for me, so I'll share that with you. I also am going to talk about the different stages of spirituality. So what your soul is, what consciousness is, and what God's head is. Now these stages I will talk about from my experience, but you may go through them really differently. So these stage, I'm going to say stage 1, 2, 3 for myself, but for you, you may go through what I'm calling stage 2. That might be your stage 1. Okay, so let's get started. All right, now firstly, what I'd like to do is I just want to define the soul. So we all have souls, right? We've got energy fields, the chakras. Your soul resides in your heart chakra, your aura. It's all energy. That's all part of your individual soul. Now, secondly, we have consciousness. We have collective consciousness. So collective consciousness is a collection of like all your, whomever you may feel your guides are, your angels are, or your gurus are, or your ancestors, aliens, all of this, the planets, the star systems, all of this is part of collective consciousness where we can receive information from. We can receive information from star systems, from planets. Like, for example, this is going to be a different vlog, but I will use different days of the week. Like today is Sunday. So today, Sunday, is the day of the sun. So on Sundays, I will full on use the sun's energy, and the sun is yellow, connect it with my chakra, my third chakra, my solar plexus chakra. And today is the 29th. So in numerology, 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 is a very high vibrational number. It's the number of the universe and duality, actually. So I will use today's numerology, the sun, so planets, and my own soul chakras, connect it with my chakra, and I will kind of use all those things to formulate how my day is going to go, how I'm going to set the intention for what kind of vibration I want in my life. I will kind of use the planet's energies, use the star system, which star system is shining bright at like 5 this morning. I will use that. Is it Venus? Is it Taurus? Is it Scorpio? What is it? I will use that star system, and I will just use these things in order to be more intuitive so that I'm not alone. So I'm receiving information from consciousness, collective consciousness. Okay, so that is stage 2 for me. Stage 3 is your Godhead. Stage 3 is the ultimate, the one, the Godhead, which is pure vibration. So let's start with, for me, my stage 2 that I just described as collective consciousness was my stage 1. So the first thing that I began to do was I began without fear. Okay, so you are in none of these stages. If you are praying to God with fear, you are in none of these stages. But when you truly, with love, with peace, with presence, just begin to love on something, but you don't know what, that's what happened with me. And I began to trust in something, but I didn't know what. My stage 1 wasn't even my soul. It wasn't even God. It was collective consciousness. And how do I know this? I know this because collective consciousness kind of started coming to me. When I put myself in receiving mode, I began to see synchronicities such as numerology. That is an omen. I began to, like, I would think of something or dream of something, and then it would really happen in a day or a week, and I'd be like, oh my God, that is so weird. That is collective consciousness. That's how I see it. Remember, this is my perspective. So I didn't see this as my soul, which my soul is part of collective consciousness, but I'm really differentiating it for you right now. Everything is one, but I'm trying to put it into stages and steps so we can process it in our brain easier. And I'm trying to use this language, English, which is very limited, and it doesn't truly get into, we need, if you want to talk about energetic, like energy, we need energy language then. So all I'm doing, we all are one, but I'm putting it in stages. So my stage one was connecting with collective consciousness through omens. How did that happen? I began, oh God, this is many years ago. I said to myself that I am going to follow every gut feeling. And as I followed every gut feeling, my chakras opened. I was receiving, so they were coming to me, okay? And I know that it was collective consciousness because I began to know who was communicating with me. So for example, if it's Archangel Michael, I had signs. If it was Jesus Christ, JC I call him, now we communicate regularly. I knew it was him. Like for example, number 333, number 143 is JC for me. The color pink is JC. Archangel Michael, the color blue, and he comes in strong. If something hits me in the face, I'm like, oh shit, I missed all those signs. I was ignoring my intuition. Oh God, and I know it's Archangel Michael. Or Gaia, when she comes with me in like this purity, fuchsia, pink light, or sometimes green light. And usually my sign when I feel like Gaia's around me is get my ass in nature, get out there, barefoot, she's got something to say, get out there, ground yourself. So that's how I started connecting with collective consciousness. My stage two was when I began to connect with my soul. Now, how did I recognize my soul? So I put geometry in my vision in order to connect with my own soul. In the beginning, the way I connected with my soul was I would see a color. So I would kind of see like a white color aura all around me, and I would always feel like, okay, this is my soul. This is what it feels like. So from that color, I began to expand it, and then I began to give it a shape, and the shape, it just came to me. So whatever you think, go. And the way I created this geometry or this shape for my soul, for my mind to connect with it was, to me, the soul goes long ways. It connects me to God. It connects me to Mother Nature. But it also goes this way because it also connects me to everything in this third dimension as well. So the soul is very personal. Okay, so what I came up with now when I think of my soul, this is what I think of. Here is a figure 8 that goes this way, connects me to the ether and Mother Nature, and this way, which really keeps me grounded and is personal. Now the impersonal part is God. That is stage 3. That Godhead I always just see as a big ball of just energy, free, pure love. No like thoughts or anything like that. That's just how I see God, God's energy, the Godhead. So let's go back to the spirit right now. And I don't want this, I'm not going to go past 10 minutes, so I'll do another vlog. I'll do a part 2 on this. But here's my soul. So the soul, like I said, is personal. Now, the difference between the soul and the Godhead, if I can describe in regular language, is so the soul is energy. When we talk about soul, we talk about a lot of energetic things, right? But when we talk about the Godhead and we talk about God, we talk about grace. And I know when it is my soul speaking to me, because my soul puts me in an observational point of view. So my soul is always like, don't judge that person. You haven't seen a 360 degree of what their life is like and where they're coming from. You observe them, girl. You are not here to judge. You are here to listen and be silent and observe. God gives me the grace to do it. So you see how the soul gives you energy to be the observationalist, but the Godhead gives you the grace to do it. And the presence when you're in the two of them, so when you are in presence with your soul, you do feel like the observer. You feel like there's no judgment and you are just observing things, taking them in, and all is fine. You might get a little personal because the soul is personal to you, but the Godhead, when the Godhead kicks in and connects straight with your soul, you literally feel nothingness. You don't feel anything. You don't feel attached to the situation that's happening right in front of you. You just feel like at peace. That's grace. That's the difference between your soul communicating with you and the Godhead communicating with you. When the Godhead is communicating with you, it's so soft. So is the soul, but the soul communicates with you and it connects you to still your chakras, still Godhead, still Mother Nature. But when Godhead comes down and communicates with you, it is so neutral, it's so detached, and it's so impersonal that you truly become one with the other person. That is God's grace. That is God's communication. So you see how God will give you the detachment in a very loving kind of way, impersonal way. Your soul still is very personal, observational, loving. It's a stage out of ego, but there's a difference. And consciousness, collective consciousness, is the one that's holding it all up. I love you guys. I hope that worked. I feel like I was channeling a little bit there. So I'm going to have to rewatch this video too. Love you guys. Bye.